For the better part of a decade now, Giannis has made NBA basketball look way too easy. It seems like at this point, no matter what defenses throw at him, he's unfazed and can cruise his way to an efficient 30. But missing both Lillard and Middleton and hosting the league's #1 defense, he got held to just an inefficient 17. The different strategies Minnesota implemented and how their personnel was able to make it work really highlights how good this unit truly is. Priority number 1 was making it as difficult as possible for Giannis to even touch the ball. This one starts with him setting a screen and the Wolves just switch to not let him roll. Then when he posts up, Ant aggressively plays the entry for a steal. Pretty much any time he tried to catch the ball inside the arc, he was being fronted by one of Minnesota's wings. This time it's McDaniels, and he's fighting so hard for position that he actually picks up a foul. The goal was to make the Bucks find offense in the hands of others. Here's a play that's designed to get Giannis a post-up on an open side of the floor, but with McDaniels aggressively fronting, Andre Jackson instead decides to isolate Gobert, which ends up in another turnover. Here's another example. McDaniels is fighting for position, while Rudy also slides down from the corner so that the entry isn't even an option. Giannis clears out, and you again end up with someone isolating Gobert. Not exactly a great recipe for success. The Bucks found themselves with multiple possessions of offense that they just straight up don't want, like Bobby Portis initiating ball screen action and pulling up for a jumper, or Brook Lopez isolating from the perimeter. Like I said, taking Rudy one-on-one probably isn't the best option. Even with the Wolves trying their hardest to keep the ball away from him, he of course still got his touches, and once he does, you'll notice that the entire defense immediately shifts towards him. Not a double team, but certainly not leaving him in single coverage. The risk of aggressively helping like this is that in the event he finds the open man and the ball keeps moving, you're forced into a tough scramble and likely will end up conceding some open threes. But the thing is, Minnesota's defensive personnel is crazy, so they routinely get away with overhelping. This one starts with McDaniels on the ball, Alexander Walker sliding to the nail, and Gobert parked in front of the rim. Giannis kicks it to the corner, but the closeout is perfect and Portis steps out of bounds. This time it's McDaniels who's helping at the nail before recovering to the perimeter. He runs his man off the line, only to chase him on a drive and obliterate his floater from behind. Then he does it again on the second chance opportunity. Loading up on the nail was their primary way of deterring Giannis. Cat stands in front of him, with Gobert once again parked on the block, and Ant just sits at the free throw line from one pass away, basically telling Giannis that there's no way he's getting to the rim. The reason they can get away with helping from one pass over once again comes back to the personnel. This time it's Naz Reid who rotates a solid 10 feet from the corner, and as soon as that pass is made, he's moving on a string to block a 3. It didn't matter who was guarding Giannis, who was the closest helper, that guy was coming over to essentially corner him, force him baseline, then trap, and he really can't do anything to get out of it. Just for some perspective, here's what it looked like on the few occasions that Minnesota didn't load up. He has way too much space to utilize his one-of-one physical tools and easily gets to an open layup. And here's one more example. He faces up for an isolation, Reid helps but doesn't fully commit, leaving him with a slight lane to step into. Obviously, the entire goal of Milwaukee's offense is to get Giannis downhill as much as possible. One way they like to do that is with the use of high ball screens. Except they ran into the same issue, as Gobert only cares about protecting the paint from a drive, not even worried about recovering to Portis on the pop. A few times Giannis tried to take advantage of all that space by attacking Gobert in his deep drop coverage, but Rudy might just be the best drop defender we've ever seen, so that's a pretty tough task. It also doesn't help that when McDaniels was on the ball, he did everything in his power to go under the screen. This time baiting Giannis into a pull-up 3, exactly what they want. Later in the game, the Bucks actually tried setting the screen from like 70 feet out to get McDaniels out of the play, while Giannis builds a head of steam to attack Gobert. With the same result though, as the 3-time Defensive Player of the Year shuts him down. Rudy and Giannis dueled quite a bit throughout this game. Here's a post up, and with Reed digging from up top, the only angle to attack is baseline, where he turns it over. That didn't stop him from going right back to the block a play later though. He once again attacks baseline, but throws a nasty counterspin to get back to the middle and throws it down. In these spots, both had their wins and losses. This time Gobert does a great job of holding his ground and forcing Giannis into a tough release angle. But on this next one, he catches in close and spins into a little jump hook. I really like how the Wolves trusted Rudy to take this matchup one-on-one though. For everyone else, it was a lot of walling up, over-aggressively helping, but there's a reason this guy's the favorite to win his 4th award. All that's to say, without both his second and third options, Giannis was at an automatic disadvantage, but I still really like how the Wolves took him out of his comfort zone. For one, he really didn't get out in transition at all, and despite touching the ball 86 times, he only attempted 14 shots and 7 free throws. Compare that to his season averages of 19 field goal attempts, 11 free throws, and you'll see what I mean, because typically stars see an increase to those categories after losing key players. It wasn't just that he wasn't attempting as much, but also not converting. Only 49.8% true shooting, while the team had an abysmal 105.6 offensive rating. Very rarely do we see a team truly shut down Giannis, but this Timberwolves squad is a pretty rare defense. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn my post notifications on to be first on more content. If you're interested in my more in-depth research, make sure to check out my website and social media profiles. You can find those links in the description. Feel free to let me know down in the comments what you thought of this game. As always, I hope you all have a great day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.